Here we go. So this is our photo today. It's slightly comical, and it's from the Harvard Business Review.org. So in this photo, I can see two men, I think, yes, here they are. They're pushing a very large boulder, and clearly they're trying to push it along or roll it or move it. But it's comical because they're never going to move that. But then again, it is on snow. Maybe it will just slide on the snow. I don't think so. I don't think it will. Okay, so over to the article. Here we go. So, as I said, it's in the Harvard Business Review, very, very highly respected university in America. And this particular article is titled Research When Help Isn't Helpful. And it's by Colin M. Fisher, Juliana Pilmer, I should say, Teresa M. Amabal maybe, and it's written just 6 days ago. The photo is on Getty and looks like it was taken by Nick Dolding. There we go. There's a brief summary there, but we won't read the summary, go straight into the article. So, Michael, you were here first. Do you fancy going first as usual, if that's okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Amy was a senior designer at Glow Design, a pseudonym for a globally admired design consultancy known for its strong culture of collaboration. When we first met Amy, she was a vocal champion of the firm's helping ethos. 18 months later, she was in tears, overwhelmed, unsupported, and considering quitting. What went wrong? The answer: unhelpful help. Helping was woven into the fabric of Glow, so much so that it was enshrined, enshrined in the employee handbook as the mother-lode of all Glow values. It was because of this culture that we approached them about conducting an in-depth study of help at work. We spent years studying how helping worked at Glow, including conducting 69 interviews and analyzing 401 daily diary entries from team members about help they gave and received. And yet, despite the strength of this culture, we discovered something unexpected in our data. 25% of help seeking episodes reported in the daily diaries were rated by receptions as unhelpful.
Right, really good. Well done. Okay. So, anything you want to ask? Any words you're not sure about, etc., as usual? It was good reading, I thought. Well done. And hello, Giuseppe. I think you've just come in.
Hello. Thank you for having
Okay.
me, and thank you, Michael, for being my messenger. So, thank you.
Okay. So back to you, Michael. Anything you've noticed or want to ask about? I have a couple of
Uh,
words I noticed.
yes. Pseudonym.
Yes. You mentioned this a few days ago, last week, I think. Yeah, that's it. So pseudonym. So the P is silent. So it's sort of basic, you could say. Pseudonym. That's it. Bit
Ethos,
confused. That's
themes.
it. This one here, so ethos. That's it, ethos. So ethos is sort of the atmosphere, the sort of not when I say atmosphere, not the air, but the sort of the feeling of camaraderie in the people that work there. you might talk about they have a good work ethos there. So there's a good work feeling. Everyone likes working there. That's the ethos, you might say. And somebody else might have a bad work ethos, of course. It works both ways, you might say. Anything else?
The second paragraph,
Mm.
ensured and
Oh, yeah, I noticed. Yeah, so that one there,
yes,
that one, enshrined, enshrined. So something's
enshrine.
so since enshrined, it's sort of woven. I think the word woven was in there too, wasn't it? It's woven into the life of that particular workplace. It's almost a requirement to do something in particular, or probably actually if it's enshrined, it is. So you might so here it's something is enshrined in the employee handbook. So in the employee handbook is like the rules that you have to abide by to work at this particular place. And so it's almost like a set of laws to work at that particular place. That's the handbook. And by saying it's enshrined, it's saying it's like it's one of the most important things in the handbook. A shrine, if you take off the N bit, is a sort of bit like a temple, like a small temple probably originally. So it's almost of a religious quality. It's that important. Anything else at all in that?
Mother-lode. What
Yeah.
is does it mean?
So originally, if you're a gold miner, you're looking for the mother-lode, and the mother-lode is could be silver too, I suppose, but or any kind of rock or ore that you're looking for. So it's any kind of a material where the main body of it is to be found. So you're digging away and you're trying to find out where the big load of this material is. Not just little bits, but where the big load of it is. Um, but it's LODE, I should say, rather than LOAD. So if you have a big heavy load, you're carrying a big heavy load on your back, or a big load of shopping, it's different spelling. A load of shopping is LOAD, but for mother load, as in a big lot of mineral or gold or something like that you're looking for underground, that's when you use that particular spelling. So two different spellings there. Um, Anything else?
Hmm, recipients.
Yeah, that's it. Yes, that's it. Recipients. That's it. I think it just came out wrong when you said it at the end when you're reading it. I think that one. That's it. That's good. Um, Anything else? There was that one there thinking about it. So I think this came up last week. There's only one vowel in the whole word. So I think a lot of people find that a bit tricky. So do you want to say it once again? Just try it once again.
Strange. Strange.
It's almost. So
Strength.
yeah, that's better. It's almost there actually. So strength, strength. Let's copy it and stick it in the dictionary. Actually, so that's a type of cloud. That is cumulonimbus. Oops, I've hit enter. I think that's what happens. Strength exercise, strength ties. So it is the E you're meant to like give a bit of emphasis to, and there's a
Strength.
yeah, strength. Do you want to try again? Strength.
Strength.
Yeah, that's it. Spot on, spot on. I think a good number of people struggle on that word there, but it's quite common too. But you'll get it. You've pretty much got it now. So it's do if it might be might, muscle, brawn, sinew. Sinew really is basically another word for muscles. Sinew. And brawn is an older word for strength, I guess. An older word, strength, brawn. Where were we? Yeah, that's good. Oh, and the line above it there, I think that word, just say that word again. If I put both those words together, so those two words maybe?
Diary entries.
That's it, spot on. That's it, that's it. Diary entries. Diary entries. And if you go another word for again, so those two words at the beginning look very, very similar, apart from there's an R and an L, I guess, and the I and the A are swapped around. So daily diary entries. Do you want to just say that again? Daily diary entries.
Daily diary entries.
Yeah, spot on. Yeah, you can't improve on that really. That's very good. It's almost a bit of a tongue twister, that one. That's it. Anything else that you noticed?
No, I think ing, many words with ing, something
Yeah, I didn't notice.
reading,
Yeah, go on.
considering.
Yeah, considering. Okay. I, si- I didn't particularly notice it. So do you want to just try a couple of them then? As you just said it now, of course. But so there was something. Do you want to say that a bit once again for me?
I
Something.
try, I try, speak,
Hmm.
but I don't know if it's right or no.
Yeah.
Conducting, analyzing, some
Analyzing. That's good. How about that one there?
run,
Or R. I'll say it for you. So the W is silent. Wrong. Wrong.
wrong,
Yeah, it's almost there, but it needs to be a bit stronger, the NG sound. When you're saying that, what I'm hearing, I'll type it now, I'm hearing that, Ron. And Ron is a name, short for Ronald. Ronald. So it can be a bit mixing up that one. I'll just say it again then. I'll say both of them, one after the other, in this order. So wrong and Ron. Wrong.
run, run, run.
Yeah, I think that's a lot better actually. That's it. Yeah, but these two do sound quite similar. So you really got to listen to the context a little bit, I suppose, to give away exactly which one it is, to be absolutely certain. And mate, you said this one too. Try again that one.
Analyzing,
Yeah, I can just about hear the NG, I think. So I'll try again for you. So analyzing, analyzing,
analyzing,
and again.
analyzing.
It's tricky, isn't it? Um, I think, as I said before, sometimes it's actually can be a bit quicker to try to sort of practice the zing bit on the end, or in this case here just the thing bit, or in this case just the ting, ting, ting.
Ting,
That sounds
ting,
quite good, yeah. Ting, ting. After saying it two or three times, ting, ting, maybe then the
ting,
whole word. So ting, ting, conducting,
ting, conducting,
ting.
analyzing.
Yeah, yeah. That sound quite good. I like that. Analyzing. Yeah, yeah. But obviously that's a bit. We're doing a bit too much because we're practicing. So in real life, I would probably say analyzing, analyzing. I'm probably overdoing it slightly there, but it's coming along. It's great that you're thinking about it. I hadn't really noticed when you were reading it, to be honest. So sometimes certain words you just don't really notice either way, but other words really stick out. But I think you're doing okay. Um, um, yeah, I think your collaboration was quite good. I struggle a little bit with that word there, collaboration. There was something else. Oh, yes, this one wasn't it? I think it was that word there. Can you that was the word. Can you just try that one again?
Overwhelmed, overwhelmed, overwhelmed,
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much. So overwhelmed, overwhelmed.
overwhelmed.
Yeah, so here, just to be awkward, I suppose you could say the H is silent, really, I would say. That's the best way, one way of looking at it. So overwhelmed, overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty good. So, um, And really, you could sort of try to say them separately and then sort of gradually over time sort of put them together. That's probably the one way to do it, another way of doing it. So over, leave a slight gap, and then say
over,
overwhelmed.
over.
That's the practice until you get the word in its completeness, sort of thing. You don't really get the word whelmed on its own. It doesn't really exist on its own. It's these two sounds together, or phonemes, all these phonemes together, sort of thing, or syllables, I should say, really, I guess. Yeah. We'll come back to that one. Um, I, I think that was quite good. Just want to do it again, just for practice. When you said it, that came out quite well. Good, I think that one. Try again.
Vocal,
Yeah. Well, I think when you read
vocal,
it out, it was slightly better actually. When you read it out, so vocal. That's it. Vocal.
vocal,
Yeah.
vocal,
Yeah, that's quite good.
vocal.
Maybe that one there.
Woven, woven,
Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting there. A bit of practice needed, I think. So woven. So the W is quite strong, I guess. Woven. Woven.
woven,
Yeah.
woven.
Woven. Woven. Okay. So we'll go back to that one again. So
Overwhelmed, overwhelmed,
it's getting better. That's pretty good. Overwhelmed. Overwhelmed.
overwhelmed.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good. I said it's about 75 to 80%. It was a little bit more practice. I think you'll get that one. So don't forget the H is silent and that one there. Let's go back to what was it again? Oh, that one there. So that's vocal. That one again, maybe.
Vocal,
Yeah.
vocal,
And then back down to this one. That's good. Your vocal's good. That one again.
woven,
Woven. Woven.
woven.
Yeah, getting better. And finish on this one, I think. That one there.
Overwhelmed,
Oh, that's even,
overwhelmed.
yeah, that's even better now. That's really better now. Hello, Carlo. Hello. Hopefully you can hear me, or hear me in a moment or two when you get going, when your sound gets going. I think that's a good reading. Well done. Well done, Michael. Any more questions? Any more items? Might just want to go back over again, Michael? Or anybody else? Any other questions?
I haven't.
Okay. We'll finish maybe on that one there. So that one again, if you remember.
Ensh
Yeah.
enshrined,
Yes,
enshrined,
spot on. The
enshrined,
first one,
enshrined.
enshrined. That's it. The first one. That's it. You got it. You've got it. And maybe that one there.
Pseudonym,
Yeah, that.
pseudonym,
Yeah, that's it. So the P's basically silent. It's originally a Greek word, and that's a bit confusing. Pseudonym. Yeah, pseudonym. So you could those sort of three words, the three letters, sort of like Sue. They come out like Sue, and denim. And I think the
pseudonym,
denim bit means basically means name. That means dename. That means name, effectively. That bit there in Greek. So a pseudonym is like a second name you might have, almost like
yeah,
yeah, almost like not like a
Hookers.
fake
Some
name.
also like Mark Twain.
Yeah, that's it. That's when it came up, wasn't it, with Mark Twain, his pseudonym, um, or book writing name, effectively in that case. You could say I have a pseudonym for the internet when I'm on a
Nickname, yeah.
forum. I don't use my real name. I use basically, well, I just use Tone actually, Ton, or Tony. Okay, so let's scroll on then. So I have to go over to Elena. I think you were next in. So if I read that one line there, I'll read that one line there. So that's right. 1 in 4 times help wasn't actually helpful. So today we're talking about help and why sometimes at work it isn't helpful, why help is not helpful. So that line I just read out. It's referring to this. Whoops! It's referring to this thing here, where it says 25% of help-seeking episodes reported in the daily diaries were rated by recipients as unhelpful. So they're emphasizing again that line there. And now it's over to you, Elena. Could you read just below? Whoops! I'll scroll up again a little bit. There you go. The class is being recorded, and you should be able to get that soon on YouTube.
Mhm.
Oh,
Should I
over to you.
start
Over to
from
you, Elena. Yeah, decades of
decades?
research.
Yes.
That's it.
Decades of research has shown that helping at work, though valuable, is all too rare. Workers often don't get the help they need, generally because they don't ask. In recent years, however, research, including our own, has identified some forward-looking organizations that have cracked the code of creating a culture of helping, including figuring out how managers can offer help without micromanaging, micromanaging, micromanaging. That makes helping a lot more common. But making help more common comes with its own risks. Even in organizations famous for collaboration, a surprising proportion of help isn't all that helpful. That's why, if you want a productive helping culture in your team or organization, you need to understand unhelpful help. What is unhelpful help? Unhelpful help occurs when givers offer assistance that misses the mark because it's poorly executed, not, not what was promised, or simply not what the recipient needed. These failed attempts aren't usually malicious. In fact, they often stem from good intentions, but they can still drain energy, slow down work, and erode trust.
Yes, nice reading. Nice reading. Well done. So, anything you want to ask about there? Anything you strikes you? You're not
Yes,
sure.
some words pronunciation.
Great.
Sorry, I've got a high fever again.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
You sound okay.
Micro. The
Yes.
meaning is clear, but pronunciation is micromanaging. Micromanaging.
Almost, not quite. So, micromanaging. That's it.
Micromanagement.
Yeah. We know,
Micromanagement.
wherever you see this particular sort of stem here, micro, it's all, I think I can't, it's always said as micro in English. So microscope, um, micromanaging, wherever you see micro, it's always pronounced
Latin.
micro. That's it.
From
Micros
Latin. Mhm.
Yeah, micro, I guess, is coming small. It basically means small, doesn't it? Microcosm is another word, microcosm. So the world of the small, that basically means the world of the small, microcosm. Yeah, so do you want to try it again, that word, Elena?
Micromanagement.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Micromanaging.
Yeah, that's basically the idea. That's it. Micromanaging. That's it. So just to give a brief explanation, so how would you explain that then to practice your English conversation? So what is micromanaging? Can you give me a definition?
Management is how to deal process in the company. So micromanagement, it's a small amount of efforts to do it.
Ah, so that's one way of looking at it. But when in everyday use in England or English or even America, micromanaging is normally a bad thing. It's where the manager hangs over your shoulder and tells you to do every little thing. You probably the idea with micromanaging is it's sort of a bad thing. You don't really want the manager on your shoulder, looking over your shoulder and telling you to do, oh, now do that, now do that, now do that. Particularly, or especially, if you well know to do each of those jobs in turn. So they're wasting their time and they're sort of just getting on they're just getting on your nerves. So micromanaging is normally thought as a bad thing, a very bad thing. Any other words there?
Malicious. The last.
Yeah, that was, yeah. When you read it out, I thought that was very good. Malicious. That's exactly how it said. Malicious. Yes, I was going to. I think you stopped for a
What does it
moment, then you
mean?
pronounced it. And it said it perfectly. So just say it a couple more times for me. So malicious.
Malicious.
Yeah, that's pretty much, yeah, malicious. That's it. And once more.
What does it mean?
Oh, malicious. So it's the intent that you have about something. So you might have malicious intent about helping somebody. So if you have a malicious a malicious intent in helping someone, it means you're not helping them. It means in fact you're making things probably worse for them.
So it can be harmful.
It is always, if it's malicious, it's always harmful. It's having bad intent. Malicious. I've just quickly searched it here. So malicious damage, malicious is always a bad thing. If it's malicious, it's always bad. So if you describe someone's words or actions as malicious, you mean they are intended to harm people or their reputation or cause them embarrassment and upset. It's always bad, malicious. So malicious gossip, malicious charges that presumably you might go to the police and say somebody did something and it's all lies. So that'd be malicious, a malicious accusation, you might say. So synonyms being spiteful, malevolent, malignant, vicious, etc. Okay, so an adjective there. That's that. So when often the fact that the mal basically means bad. So malcontent means bad because it's not man, and mal here again means bad. So is that Greek or Latin? I think it's Greek, isn't it? I think it doesn't really matter, does it? But I'm just being. L means Latin, so it originally comes from the Latin. So in other words, it's not Greek; it's Latin. I thought it was Greek. My mistake. I think when you said that word there, it didn't come out quite right. Can you just say that one again for me?
Team.
Stem.
Stem.
That's it, stem. Yeah.
Stem, it's if you imagine apple, it's like
Yeah. The apple grows from the stem,
yes,
doesn't it? It grows from the stem. That's it. That's a good way of looking at that word. That's one way of using it. So yeah, I suppose so I just read that line again there. So in fact, they often stem or come from or grow from, you could say, from good intentions. That's it. Yeah.
Good intentions lead to the hell, something like that.
Well, in this sense, good
The road
intentions.
to the hell is paved with good intentions.
Yes, that's a saying. Yes, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So I just wanted to mention, so good intentions is the opposite to malicious. That's why they're in close by sentences. Okay. Anything else? There was a couple of other things I noticed.
Drain energy. It's just lose energy. Losing energy.
If you're going to have a cup of tea and you boil some water, a whole cup of a pot of water, but you pour that water down the drain, that's a great waste, isn't it? So that's the same thing. This is pulling your energy down the drain. Obviously, it's a metaphorical drain. Does that make sense?
Yes.
That's it. So you could say that when I go to work, I'm a drain on my employer because I'm so lazy and I waste a lot of things when I'm there. I'm a drain when I go to work. I'm a
And
waste.
erode trust, it's like an erosion.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so erosion. So yeah, this is the sort of the root of erosion. Erode. That's it.
Erode.
Wear away something. That's what erode means, to wear away. Anything else there?
Nothing else. It was easy to
Okay.
read. And
That was good. I'm glad you found it easy.
valuable.
I noticed this one here because it's at the beginning.
Valuable.
Yeah, it's a little bit W-like at the beginning when I hear you saying it, and it's just it's a very strong V sound.
Valuable.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, valuable, valuable. Try again, val.
Valuable.
So I'm saying val, and when I get to
Wow.
the U, I'm actually saying you. So I'm
Mm.
saying val, you, able. That's sort of what I'm saying. Valuable, valuable. Try that, maybe.
Valuable.
So at the very beginning, your first bit isn't quite. Oops, oh, the very first bit. So I think I'm saying val at the beginning. Try just say val, val.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, your
Wow.
V isn't. Yeah, the
Wow.
last one. That's it. Val.
Wow.
Yeah, val. Um, Also, val is a lady's name. It's a shortened version. Valerie, maybe shortened version of a name. So some ladies are called Val. So valuable. Try again.
Valuable.
Yeah, you've gone back the other way again. So just say val again. Keep saying val a
I
few
want to
times.
say it's softer, valuable, but it's not. In English, it's a hard sounds.
Yeah.
Valuable.
Valuable. Yeah, I think that sounds
Valuable.
pretty good. Valuable. Yeah, I think you got it there. Say once more. Valuable.
Valuable.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, okay. But we'll just tap into the dictionary. Let's hear them say it. Sometimes it's nice to hear a different voice. Thank you very much, dictionary. Valuable.
I just remember
Mm-hmm.
teachers always said, don't make sounds softer in English because it's hard sounds.
Okay.
Valuable.
Valuable. It's valuable.
Valuable.
Yeah, okay. That's pretty good.
Valuable. Yes. Your
Yeah,
pronunciation is good. Yes, I agree.
valuable. Okay. And maybe I can't remember how you said it now, but that word there with the W, so it's different from the V.
Workers.
Yeah, or pretty much workers, workers.
Workers.
And once more, workers.
Workers.
Yeah, that's getting there. That's getting it. Well done. Well done. And that didn't sound quite right, that one there. Just say that one again.
In recent years,
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I think maybe you got rushed a little bit. That's it. So maybe we'll just practice that little bit. We'll practice it from the beginning, actually. Not that much. We just redo. I don't want to click on. Oh, blast doesn't matter. So maybe just read down to. Looking for organizations down to there, perhaps that bit there. Okay, so I'll read it to you first of all, then it's your go. So we start with the very top line. So decades of research has shown that helping at work, though valuable, is all too rare. Workers often don't get the help they need, generally, because they don't ask. In recent years, however, research, including our own, has identified some forward-looking organizations. So your go from the top down to there if you can.
decades of research has shown that helping at work, though valuable, is all too rare. Workers often don't get the help they need, generally because they don't ask. In recent years, however, research, including our own, has identified some forward-looking organizations that have cracked the code of creating a culture of helping,
Yeah.
including stop.
Yeah, that was it. That's good. That's good. And maybe a couple of other words. So I can't think what the word now. Was it this word? I think that word was in there. Can you just try this one here for me?
Givers.
Yeah, givers. Yeah. Was that the word? I think it was. And maybe can't spell it now, that word. That word there?
Because.
Yeah, because. I think when you read it out, you said because I think maybe just gave a little bit too much emphasis in the wrong place. So if I just say the word for you again, so because.
Because.
Yeah.
Because.
So it's almost as if it's spelt this way. I know it isn't. So B like that perhaps. Because. Yeah, it's strange really.
Because. Because.
Yeah, that's it. Anything else?
Nothing else.
Great.
Thank you.
And there was this word, or two words, I should say. So they're just down here. So in fact, can you just say that for me? In fact.
In fact.
Yeah, when you're saying it sounds a bit like you're saying in. My spelling is terrible. In fucked. This is what it sounds like you're saying. In fucked. A little bit.
In fact.
Oh yeah, you got it. You've got it. That's it. Well done. Spot on. Well done. That's it. So that sounds a bit rude. This one.
Yes.
So yeah, that's why I probably wouldn't have bothered, but it just sounded rude. That's it. So don't forget that one. In fact, that's it. You've got it. You've got it. Anything else from anyone else? Anyone else? Any queries about anything there? Maybe we'll finish with this one, Elena. So that one once more.
Micromanagement. Micromanaging. Micromanagement.
That's it. That's it. Yeah,
Micromanage.
that's it. Think of microscope.
Yes.
I'm sure you've heard of microscopes or anything else that's very, very small. Microcosm. That's it. That's it. Great. Okay, we'll scroll on then. Well done, Elena. Well done. Okay, we'll scroll on. So it's over to Giuseppe.
Okay.
There we go. Your go.
Yeah. In our years of studying in helping process, we have discovered that help at work is a paradox. Some aspects of organizational structure that make help common enough to fuel creativity and learning also increase the likelihood that unhelpful help will emerge. These structures are strong helping norms, flat hierarchies, and flexible roles. Strong helping norms increase the likelihood that people will ask for help when they need it, and others will agree to give it. Flat hierarchies mean that people don't worry as much about asking others for help, even those experts who might be hard to approach in a steeper hierarchy. Finally, when roles are fluid and everyone feels responsible, it's hard to know who is responsible for what. Why unhelpful help happens? Our research identified 3 factors that contribute to unhelpful help. Number 1, okay.
Yeah, carry on to the
Okay.
bottom of the page if you can.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Number 1, fuzzy asks and murky understandings. In a culture where helping is expected, people ask for help often, but not always clearly. This was Glow's first trap. Strong norms encouraged asking for help, but people didn't know how to ask for help effectively. Specifically, people didn't want to seem too demanding, so they made what we call fuzzy asks, vague, open-ended requests like, I just wanted to get your input.
Yes, that's it. Very, very good. Very little for me to say, really. Very good. Anything you want to ask about there then? You started about there, I think. That's it, yeah. So you lost a bit at the bottom of the page. Anything at all strikes you?
not about meaning, and
Mm.
there were lots of H.
H words, yes.
Yeah,
There was, yeah.
and
So yeah, that's true.
maybe some words were quite long, like organizational
Yeah,
or likelihood. So yeah,
Oh yes. Yeah, good pronoun. I think you're pronouncing that very well. I think yes. Um, anything at all?
no, the meaning
That's fantastic.
is clear, and yeah.
So, what about murky as a word? What does that mean, do you think? Murky.
I think it's maybe not completely clear, probably, or maybe
Yes, yes.
mm,
That's it, yes.
doubtful, which an understanding with,
Spot on.
but not clear. So
Yeah, that's
that,
it.
yeah,
You've got it. Yes, that's such a good way of putting it, really. Normally, when we say something's murky, perhaps we're describing water, maybe a river. We might say the water is very murky in this river. So it's a bit dark and you can't see the bottom, or you can't see the fish very clearly. Spot on. That's exactly the meaning you gave there. That's it. Um, The only word well, really the only word I really noticed that maybe just that one word there. So do you want to say that again, that one there, from the bottom?
yeah, vague,
So that's normally said as a vague, vague.
vague. Okay,
That's it. You've got
vague.
it.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's
yeah.
really the only
Vague,
thing I
vague.
could
Yeah,
notice, really.
yeah, vague,
Vague. So that is a bit,
vague.
yeah, it's not an obvious one either, actually. Um, Maybe just to practice then. So this one here. So I think you said it very well. So encourage, encourage. You're going.
Encouraged.
Yeah, encouraged. Oh, sorry, there's an ed on the end, so I made a mistake there. So that's it. Encouraged, encouraged.
Encouraged.
That's it. I was wrong there. um, I liked your specifically. That's very very clear. Sometimes when you might hear some British people say it, and they sort of miss off the S sometimes, and so it's ps, ps, um, so sometimes we're a bit lazy in our pronunciations. Specifically, and I can't really copy it now, but so you said about the H's, so there's a lot of H's, so I think you said this quite well. So so we say this is hierarchy, hierarchy.
Hierarchy.
Yes, so that's it, yeah. And maybe and the plural is up there, of course. So hierarchies, hierarchies.
Hierarchies.
Yeah, I think that's spot on. So let's just pop it into the dictionary. Let's listen to this one. So it looks strangely, if you think about air, you might think, oh, maybe you miss it out because it looks very similar to air at the beginning. But no, for whatever reason, we pronounce this H, hierarchies. So we said that first bit is like it was high. That first bit comes like high. Let's listen to how they say it.
Hierarchy.
Yeah, hierarchy. That's it. And they're plural,
Hierarchies.
hierarchies. And I think you've got that. Well done. Well done. Very good. Slip of the tongue. I think there was an ask somewhere around here. Oh, there it is there. And I think and next and the word after had an H there, and I think you stuck an H in front of the ask. So it was will. I think it was anyway. I can't remember now. So yeah, slip of the tongue. You put an H sound where my cursor is there, but that's okay, really. Slip of the tongue.
We'll ask for help.
Yes, yeah, that's it. So we'll ask for help. That's it. That's it. And maybe I think it's the it's just So that one there, we normally sort of say it as simply as discovered. Discovered. What's more maybe for you?
Yeah.
Discovered?
Discovered.
Oh, yeah, that's getting it. Yeah, discovered.
Discovered.
Okay. Let's just pop it in the dictionary anyway, just to get it spot on if we can. So it might say discover, I think it might do. Oh no, yeah, discover, there we go. So discovered. Is that right? Yeah, that's one there.
discovered,
Discovered. So they have emphasis on the O, I would say there. And the O there is where they give the emphasis, isn't it, I think? So
discovered,
discovered, discovered, discovered.
discovered,
Do you want to do once or twice more, Giuseppe? So
Yeah.
discovered, you'll go.
Discovered.
Yeah, that's
Discovered.
yeah. That's it.
Discovered.
discovered,
Discovered. Once more.
Discovered.
Yeah, yeah. I think you're getting it. Really, you've really pretty much got it. I would say it's one of those. You're pretty much there. Discovered. Yeah, that's it. You've got it. I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. Anything else from anyone? I'm struggling to think of things here. I think you actually. Do you fancy just rereading this little bit here? That bit there, just for practice.
Yeah. Even those experts who might be hard to approach in a steeper hierarchy. No, even those experts who might be hard to approach in a steeper hierarchy. Finally, when roles are fluid and everyone feels responsible, it's hard to know who is responsible for what.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. Yes. So yeah, that's a nice reading.
Hierarchy,
So
yeah,
it is a bit tricky. Yes, hierarchy.
hierarchy.
So you think about sort of monarchy, the monarch. So it's got this archy bit on the end. So just as in democracy, you might say. Is that right? No, it's different, isn't it? Hierarchy, democracy. No, not democracy, but hierarchy. So hierarchy. So just try a couple more times. So hierarchy.
Hierarchy. Hierarchy.
Okay, I think I'm making it harder actually for you. I don't think I'm helping actually. So let me try again. Let's pop it in here. So hierarchy.
hierarchy,
I didn't quite catch. I think you just cut out a little bit. So hierarchy, hierarchy.
Hierarchy.
Okay, listen there once more.
hierarchy,
So it's like hierarchy, hierarchy.
Hierarchy.
It was a little bit more practice. I think you were better in the first time we were doing it, and I think I've sort of put you off a little bit actually. So hierarchy is about sort of a system of levels and sort of grading. And here we go here. So it says grading, ranking, social order, pecking order. That's good there. So it's an interesting idea of pecking order. So I always think of birds. So the most important bird can go to the table first to eat its bird seed, first of all. And then the second most important bird in the pecking order, they go up to get their food. And the third most important bird goes up to the bird table and gets their seeds from the bird table. Because I say peck birds because birds peck at their food, don't they? Peck at the seeds on the ground. That's sort of the idea I get with pecking order. That's a bit of an idiom almost there, isn't it? Pecking order. I can't see anything else there. You're very good, I think. Maybe we would just do that one word again there. So discovered. Discovered. You'll go.
Yeah. Discovered. Discovered.
Okay, maybe this one down here. That one word again there, maybe.
Vague.
That's it, vague.
Vague.
You've got it, yeah, vague, vague. Let's just go back to, let's mix up the ED actually. So discover, discover.
Discover.
Yeah,
Discover.
yeah. Discover. Let's put that into the dictionary again. Let's try that again. And where they're giving the emphasis. Yes, it's on the O, isn't it? Discover. Discover.
discover,
Discover. Discover. Once more.
Yeah. Discover.
Yeah. That's it. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Spot on. Discover. That's it. Discover. Once more.
Discover.
Yeah, I think you're getting it. That's it. That's spot on, really. Yeah, your first one there was spot on. You can't really improve on that, I don't think. That's it. So I think it's just the emphasis on the where you're giving the emphasis, I think, isn't it? That's it. That's really good reading, I thought. I'm really pulling out some very small details here. I think the only word which I say was a little bit out was vague, and that and that was it really. It was very good reading. Well done. So any other question for anybody else before we scroll on? So what's the meaning of paradox? Maybe just you'll find a little bit, Giuseppe. Practice your conversation to explain the word paradox. So what is a paradox? Do you know? I think you do.
Yeah, when we want to explain something using words or a story that could mean the opposite. So a way to convince using a weird example.
It's a tricky word to explain, isn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, I think you're around it. You're around the sort of how. Let's have a look then. So, how do they explain paradox? You describe a situation as a paradox when it involves two or more facts or qualities which seem to contradict each other. So, as you're saying, hard to explain. So, the paradox is an example sentence. So, the paradox is that the region's most dynamic economies have the most primitive financial systems. Or the last one here says, death itself is a paradox. The end yet the beginning. So in some ways, death is an end and a beginning, they're saying here, and that's why it's a paradox. So something that is hard to comprehend or cannot be comprehended. So in other words, they're saying it's a contradiction, a mystery, a puzzle, ambiguity. Here we go. So it's more of a mystery stroke, can't be properly explained. Life is a paradox, you might say. Okay. So we've probably gone. Okay. So yeah, let's scroll on then. So it's on to Carlo. Sorry, we've gone to it's 7 o'clock. So let's just go straight on, I think.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, yes.
Sorry to be late, Tony, but I've been working
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah.
till late tonight, and
It sounds like you're still at work.
I'm on the street right now.
Oh,
with my phone, and so maybe you can hear some noises coming from the street, and it's me.
No, we can't hear anything, but it's just that your voice is just,
Okay.
it sounds like you're on the phone maybe, rather than. So do you want to just practice some conversation maybe? You don't have to read, it's on the phone. You don't perhaps want to read.
No, I can. Yes,
Okay.
don't worry, I
Maybe
can.
stop, lean against a lamppost maybe and start reading. We've read the first paragraph, but do you want to reread it if you want to?
So, Till as one designer
Okay, yeah, from there then, yeah.
From there, okay. As one designer, no. The second paragraph,
Yeah, there.
optimistic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Over to you.
Okay. Fuzzy, optimistic expectations and lack of accountability. Fuzzy asks often led help seekers to assume their needs were understood and would be met. This created what we describe as optimistic expectations. The belief that givers could solve the problem. Givers often felt pressure to say yes but didn't always follow through. In Hermie's case, many agreed to help, so Hermie hoped they would solve the problem. She stopped working on other solutions when givers failed to deliver. The problem had become that much more difficult and urgent.
From there on, if you care, number 3.
Number 3, yes, an emotionally charged aftermath. Unhelpful help doesn't just derail projects, it damages relationships and morale. Recipients often felt misled and unsupported. In Nermi's case, the lack of follow through made her feel undervalued. As she put it, if Glow thinks this is what I'm all about, to make sense of things that are all crazy and just to hold it together. I don't want to. That shouldn't be my value here. Givers didn't fare much better. Some felt their contributions were ignored or misused. Without feedback, they couldn't know whether they made a difference or how to improve next time.
That's really good. Very, very good. Very good. So there was a couple of words of this sort of format where it's 3 sort of letters stuck in front of another word. So this is sort of like a
Misused.
misused. That's it. So that's it, misused. And there was another one. It was something like, let's see what it was now. Oh, it was this one. Yes. Down the bottom here. Can you see that one there in blue? So
Misled.
yeah. So if I put a little hyphen in there, how would you say it then? Maybe.
Misled.
Well, so it's similar to this other one.
Misled.
That's it. Yeah, misled. That's it. Misled. You've got it. That's it. Misled.
Misled. Okay.
That's it. Set the hyphen out. Here we go. It is a bit unclear, isn't it? And there was another one up here, something another M word. So I think you said it as if the E wasn't there. So how would you say it with the E on the end? Any idea?
Morali.
So there's moral without the
Moral.
E. Without the E. If I put the E on there, it then becomes morale. So
Moral.
moral and
Okay.
morale. So when it's moral, someone might have bad morals in that they
Okay. Yeah.
sleep, they do naughty things.
A bad mood.
That's it.
Uh-huh.
And morale is something to do with how you feel.
Yeah.
Sort of like your how you feel about life or how you feel about work.
Yeah.
That's it. You might have good morale at work or bad
Mm-hmm.
morale at work. So there was the word with the name, this lady's name. So this is the lady this is all was happening to. So
Amy's.
yeah,
Okay.
Amy. That's it, Amy. Yeah,
Amy.
that's it. That's really all I noticed. Really, a couple of other small details, but nothing really. That was good. So it's about this idea of trying to supposedly helping someone, and somehow it doesn't end up as actually being helpful to them. So as a teacher, what do you think about that? So you're kind of obviously trying to help your students, aren't you? So what do you think about that? Does that happen in your school, do you think? Or
So I think the young generations. I mean, adults have to help the young generation.
Yeah.
This is my moral thinking, no?
Okay. Yeah.
Because the adult gives something without conditions.
Yes. You might say philosophical position, probably not moral, but yeah, philosophical belief, you might
Yeah.
say. That's it. Yeah. Yeah. I got you.
And so I think that you don't need to make any pressure to the others, in my opinion, because in that case, find solutions become more difficulty, I could say.
So say that again. Find solutions become.
Yes, if you work in a space where you have a lot of pressure to manage, no,
Right.
it is difficult to find a solution to the problem. So
Okay.
it is important to me to have a good space to work with good persons, with sorry, with good people, and working with people that make you micromanaging or mobbing. It is quite difficult to find a solution to a problem. This is my thought. Yeah.
I think in Amy's situation, or what they're talking about here, was that she was asking for help, but for some reason, when they were explaining something to her, I guess they weren't explaining it in a way that she could understand it, or she wasn't able to understand the answer that they gave her. So they sort of used more jargon, let's say, perhaps, I'm guessing, to explain something. So they just made it more complicated. They just introduced other ideas which didn't help her. That's my assumption. I didn't really quite get the exact understanding of it. So how do we avoid? How do we know when someone really understands something when we explain it to them or try to explain it? There's probably things I've tried to explain here and I haven't really succeeded, and yet no one has said, "Oh, Tony, I don't understand that." I think anyway, but so how do we avoid that, do you think, maybe?
Let me think.
You can carry on walking if you if you want.
Ciao ragazzi, ciao Adam. My students just walking over me.
Walking past you. Did they call you prof? They call you prof just then,
Yeah,
did they?
prof is teacher.
Ah,
Prof.
as in professor. I've got you. That's great.
Yeah. I can solve this problem. Yes. Maybe asking to someone to explain
Yeah.
what I just explained before.
Yes. Yes.
Earlier.
That's
This
it,
is a
isn't it?
way that I can use just to try to understand if all my students, for example, are understanding.
Yes. Yeah. That's it. That's the classic,
Without,
isn't it? Yeah.
yes, but without making any pressure. No, it's just to understand if they understood
Yes. That's it.
without any type of prejudice or pressure or I don't know bad things. No,
Yes.
just understand. Yes, because I think the most important thing is that students or your how can I say your colleagues they have understood the process, the explanation. No,
Yes. I think you've given it. Yeah. That's
I
it.
think the goal, achieving the goal, and uh, a good relations even on work is the most important things in my
I
opinion.
suppose so. Yeah.
In my opinion. And for example, in my work as a teacher, I based my educational strategy on the problem solve teachings. For example, I give to my students a problem to solve, and they just find solution. And make errors is very important because they teach you how don't to do,
Yes.
how don't to act. I
Yeah.
think to be wrong is really important in this reality, in this world, in my opinion.
Yeah. Getting it wrong. That's
Yes,
right. Yes.
in our culture is a bad item. The error, no, to be wrong.
At work, yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Yes.
but everywhere, I think. Everywhere. But in my opinion, it's very important to be wrong because you learn better and you remember better the error, even the success.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I totally agree with you. So does anyone else have any feelings about that? About it? It's good to make mistakes is basically what just Carlo is saying there. So Michael, Elena, Giuseppe, what do you think about that then? Making mistakes is good. What do you think?
I completely agree with this.
Oh,
Yes, because mistakes, you only when you get a mistakes or make a mistakes, you remember it because it's it's like it's we are programmed. It's like instinct of surviving instinct because
surviving. Yeah.
surviving.
Survival instinct. Survival. I say.
Yes, because when it's something danger for us, we must remember it and avoid it. And so mistakes, it's the type of this.
Yes, it's natural selection.
Natural
selection, yes. Survival mistakes, natural selection, yes.
Yes, it's like good marks or bad marks. If you have a good marks, for example, you don't know, you didn't be a good student, you didn't learn some subject, and in the end on the exam you pass this exam on good mark. It's not good. It's better when you have a bad mark and you try to fix it, try to find out when you.
Yeah.
So only mistakes. You getting better only through mistakes.
So you make a mistake and then you improve and you get better. So it's a mistake, understand your mistake, see what you did wrong, and then improve, do it again, and you'll get better, and you get better at it. I've got you, yes. So that's basically what Carlo was saying, isn't it? Yeah. But when we're at work, often there's this atmosphere of you're not allowed to make mistakes when you're at work. So how does it work? How does that happen when you're at work then? How does it happen at work? What do? We make mistakes at work. For those of us who are at work.
Some people show activity, imitated activity, and when they show activity, they don't do mistakes. It's a problem in my work because many people try to show activity, imitated working process.
Or they pretend to be working. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
And they wasting time valuable time, and it's these things gets managed.
Hmm. How big a problem is that? Is it a big problem, or does it happen just occasionally?
No, it's systematically, and the reason of this, it's because there are many people from Soviet Union where all people where all people were equal, and they have the almost similar salary.
Hmm.
So you work good or you working bad, in
Hmm.
the end of the month you earn almost the same salary
Yeah.
without difference. So people try to imitate it, working process,
Hmm.
and because in the end of the month the same situation. But when you imitated the working process, showing activity,
Hmm.
you do far less mistakes. When you do
Yeah.
mistakes, become mistakes, yes, you better worker than the people who work hard and do mistakes and have some problems.
Ciao Clelia, come stai? Tutto bene? Tu?
I think that's Carlo talking to someone. So you said about imitate work. That's I love that way of putting it. A lot of people say this word, so pretend. If you pretend that something is the case, you act in a way that is intended to make people believe that is the case, although in fact it is not. In other words, you pretend to work. You pretend to work. And when we talk about imitate, sometimes if you have a boss and he's monitoring you online, maybe you're working from home and they're monitoring you online because they can see what your mouse is doing. Sometimes you can get a program that imitates your mouse movements as if you were working. Because sometimes all your boss does, they just want to see that your mouse is moving. They don't want to see necessarily what you're moving to. So you can get a program, just keeps your mouse moving, where you're having a cup of tea, watching television, or sunbathing. Yeah, so that does happen. I have heard that. So I think that's when we might say mimics work, or but we normally would say pretend to work in that situation. So pretend is the most often. I haven't really come across a great deal of that, but that's a fascinating story. And I can understand what you're saying. So, in the old Soviet days, everyone was pretty much equal, apart from the higher echelons, the hierarchy up above you, and everyone got roughly the same pay, effectively. Yeah, so I can see there's no incentive to. I can see the problems there of that system, as it's famously the way that way. So, did anyone else find that enlightening by hearing about the old Soviet system? Anyone find that enlightening? Or did it remind anybody?
Sorry, I didn't.
Sorry, I have to go. Sorry.
Yes. Okay,
Okay.
Carlo.
I'm really sorry, but tonight with my phone, it's
No
quite
problem
difficult
whatsoever.
to meet. Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Thank you, everybody. See you next time. Bye bye. Good
Bye
night.
bye. Bye bye. So that's Carlo going. And at that point, maybe we'll actually end the recording.